World Mission Report.
God's Plan for Enoch. Enoch's Dream. Part 1. Enoch felt like he was living his dream life in Spain. For more than 20 years, he had worked as a successful physical therapist. He and his business partner owned a clinic in Barcelona. His wife, Ingrid, also worked as a physical therapist at a Seventh-day Adventist nursing home. They had 2 sons, a happy family, and a comfortable life. But something kept happening in Enoch's heart. He felt that God was calling him to become a pastor. He didn't understand why. God had already blessed him with a wonderful career. He didn't want to seem ungrateful, so he never prayed about becoming a pastor. He didn't even tell Ingrid. Then the COVID-19 pandemic came. Their clinic had to close for about 3 weeks. When it reopened, the feeling in his heart became even stronger. Enoch loved helping people recover physically, but he wanted even more to help them know Jesus. He often talked with his patients about God and prayed with those who were willing. His favorite time each day was his morning devotion and Bible study. Many times, the Bible verses he read in the morning became exactly the message one of his patients needed later that day. Some even began asking him to pray for them. Still, Enoch kept his calling to himself. Every evening he came home and told Ingrid about the spiritual conversations he had with his patients. One day, Ingrid said, "I need to tell you something. God has placed it on my heart that you should go to Sagunto, study theology, and become a pastor." Enoch was shocked. She had spoken the very thoughts he had been hiding. But becoming a pastor seemed impossible. They had a successful business, they loved living in Barcelona, their sons were happy in their Adventist school. So Enoch replied, "If this is really God's will and not just my own desire, he will make it clear." But Ingrid couldn't ignore what God had placed on her heart. Week after week, she reminded him, "I believe God is calling us to Sagunto." Enoch always answered, "That's impossible. We would need a new home, new jobs, and a new school for the boys." Later, Enoch shared his feelings with his brother-in-law, who was a pastor. His brother-in-law promised to pray and said, "If this is God's will, he will show you." Not long after that, Ingrid's father passed away. As the family prayed about whether to stay in Barcelona, move closer to Ingrid's mother, or go to Sagunto, another surprise came. Enoch's business was doing better than ever. He and his partner were even buying the building next door to expand their clinic. While signing the papers, his business partner suddenly asked, "Why aren't you a pastor?" Enoch stared at him in surprise. "What do you mean?" he asked. His partner smiled and said, "I see the way you talk about Jesus with your patients. You clearly love it. So why aren't you a pastor?" That question became another confirmation that God was leading him. Soon afterward, Enoch and his family moved to Sagunto Adventist College, where he began studying theology to become a pastor. It wasn't their plan. It was God's plan. Next week, we'll hear the rest of Enoch's amazing story. Reflection. Sometimes God calls us to something we never expected. At first, his plan may seem impossible, but God is faithful. He speaks through his word, through the people around us, and through the events of our lives. When we trust him, we discover that his plans are always better than our own. Mission offering. A previous 13th Sabbath offering helped expand the theology department at Sagunto Adventist College, where Enoch is now studying. Another offering helped build the girls' dormitory where Ingrid now works. Just as those gifts changed the lives of Enoch, Ingrid, and many others, your offering this quarter can help more people hear God's call and prepare for his kingdom. Thank you for supporting the mission work in the Inter-European Division, including Spain.